For the longest time, Stevo Simpleboy saw himself as a rapper, dreaming of big collaborations with big artists.
Mimi Stevo Simpleboy nimefanya kazi nikapata mshahara, napata kichuna, anaitwa Diana, huku amenuna na tena analia, alafu ananiambia Simpleboy, mimi nakuzimia, mimi nakupenda, tena nakutaka, lasi hivyo ndo pesa anataka. Amekuwa kama mwewe akishika kifaranga la mashallah, nikampa pesa alafu akaendanga, nikabaki na kara, akawa na furaha.
And sure, people enjoy his music, but let's be honest, rap isn't really what he does best. What people or what Kenyans truly love about Stevo isn't his buzz, it's his personality. He's effortlessly funny.
Stevo Simpleboy?
Naam.
How are you?
I'm good.
Uko fiti?
Niko faiba video.
The way he talks, his expressions, even his serious moments make people laugh. Obina saw this early on and tried to push him toward comedy multiple times, but Stevo wasn't convinced. He never saw himself as a comedian, and he was reluctant to give it a shot.
Have you ever thought of comedy? Umefikiria uchekesha wase?
Comedy ni ngumu.
What he didn't realize is that this advice was the one thing that could completely change his life. Steven Otieno, better known as Stevo Simpleboy, has never had it easy. In fact, if there was ever someone who had every reason to give up, it was him. Life handed him nothing but struggle, setbacks, and moments that could have easily led him down a path of hopelessness. But somehow, against all odds, he refused to let that define him. Stevo spent most of his early years in Oyugis, where he grew up and attended school, at least up until class 7. Then, in search of a better future, he moved to Nairobi's Kibera slums. But he didn't just move to Nairobi to finish his education. He came with a dream, the dream of making music. Now, the farthest Stevo has gone academically was class 8. And before you start making assumptions, let's be clear, it wasn't by choice. His family simply couldn't afford school fees. Coming from a household of 8 children, education became a luxury they couldn't sustain.
Pata karo hakuna, shule ilikuwa ngumu sana. Matam pia tunalala njaa. Hakuna ile chakula tunapata. So ikipatikana tunakula, ikikosekana pia ni hivyo.
And let's talk about Kibera, where Stevo was living. Kibera is one of Africa's largest slums. It's a place where dreams rarely survive, where poverty crushes ambition, and where every single day is a fight just to get by. It's not the kind of place that nurtures superstars, but Stevo Simpleboy wasn't about to let his circumstances dictate his destiny. Music became a special thing to him. It was like his escape. It was the one thing that gave him hope, that made life in Kibera feel a little less suffocating. He began writing his own songs and dreaming of the day that his voice would reach beyond the slums.
Moja mbili tatu, naruka kama chatu, akili zangu tatu kama soli ya kihatu, dunia kuna watu, tena na vihatu, wazee wa zamani waliishi kwa amani, maskani ya amani, wazungu na warabu walikam huku Kenya.
Now let's go back to education. After finishing class 8, Stevo had no choice but to start working. To make ends meet, he took on whatever jobs he could find. He found a job as a security guard. In Kenya we say watchman.
So kazi ya kwanza nilipata ni kazi ulinzi.
Guard.
Then the security company he was working for shut down, leaving Stevo without a job. With no job security literally, Stevo had to find another way to survive. This meant hustling at construction sites or mjengo, doing hard labor just to afford a meal. But this wasn't what he wanted. Stevo had a bigger vision. He wanted to be a rapper, and not just any rapper. He wanted to make Swahili hip-hop, and was inspired by the legendary Professor J from Tanzania. Even as he spent his days on the mjengo, he kept writing music, and even performing whenever he could, even if it was just in front of a few friends and neighbors. But not everyone believed in Stevo Simpleboy. He faced constant ridicule.
Watu walikuwa wanachezea kuhusiana na sura yangu vile inakaa. Wanasema mimi ati sura yangu ni kama monkey. Inauma, but itabidi uzoee.
But if there's one thing about Stevo is that he didn't care. People could talk and say whatever they wanted. But he kept doing what he loved. That was music. Determined to improve, he kept sharpening his rap skills, regularly attending rehearsals organized by the Kibera Creative Arts or KICA. Unlike mainstream hip-hop, which often glorifies crime and objectifies women, Stevo wanted to do something different. His goal was clear: to make meaningful, uplifting music that inspires the people. In 2015, he dropped his first song, Ukimwi or AIDS, aiming to raise awareness about the disease Ukimwi. But that song didn't make him famous. His real breakthrough came in 2019.
Vijana tuache mihadarati, nasema tuache mihadarati. Vijana tuache mihadarati, nasema tuache mihadarati.
When Mihadarati dropped in 2017, nobody, not even Stevo himself, expected the song to be a hit. In fact, for 2 whole years, the song sat on YouTube unnoticed. But then, out of nowhere, it exploded. And the reason is this interview.
Anaimba hip hop.
Okay.
He carries kibera to the rest of the world.
Okay.
Ni msanii anafunza wasee poa.
Yes.
Na pia anza.
Okay. Sawa bro. You can have a seat. Umesema anaitwa nani?
Anaitwa Simple Boy.
Simple Boy, salimia watu bwana na uambie wewe ni nani. Ukiwa kama umetulia tu hapo.
Najima jamaa. Najima jamaa. Yeah, mimi naitwa Stevo Simple Boy, all the way from Kibera. Mimi nafanya hip hop.
Yeah.
Inspiration. Ama vipi?
Hapo sawa.
Back in 2019, comedian Chipukizi hosted Stevo and his friend Handsome Boy on his show. And people loved the interview. Of course, they loved Stevo and the Handsome Boy. But Stevo got the most attention. Something about him just clicked with the audience. Maybe it was the way he said phrases like tuheshimu ndoa, or maybe it was his positive energy. It could also have been the way he answered questions or even how he performed. Whatever it was, Stevo Simple Boy quickly became a fan favorite, and the demand for Stevo only grew. People couldn't get enough of Stevo Simple Boy.
Mabibi na mabwana muheshimu ndoa. Muheshimu ndoa. Wanaume kwa wanawake muheshimu ndoa. Muheshimu ndoa.
Riding on the momentum, he released more tracks including Tuheshimu Ndoa and Inauma Inabidi Uzoe, a song that was a direct response to the severe trolling he faced on social media. Some critics called him an accidental celebrity, saying that his fame was just luck, not real talent. But Stevo saw it differently. To him, his success wasn't by chance, it was God's plan. As his career grew, so did his visibility. He became a favorite in the media, appearing in interviews on big television and radio stations. He even worked with big names like Nameless, Big Pin and Jegede. And things got better and better. He even won the 2019 Mashujaa Award, beating some of the biggest names in Kenyan entertainment. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. Despite all the success, Stevo had nothing to show for it. And the reason was his management. They controlled everything: his money, his rent, his meals, even his social media accounts. They dictated who he could meet and collaborate with. In short, they had total control over Stevo Simple Boy. Now, it's understandable for a record label to expect profits after investing in art. But the way Stevo was treated exposed a far more tragic reality. He often appeared demoralized, rarely smiling, and even his dressing showed that he was not getting much from his career. And later he found a new management, and this was like a fresh start for Stevo Simple Boy. He was no longer the same. He was now more confident, more polished, and just a better version of himself. Now, his music isn't bad at all. It's educational, and it's exactly what Stevo loves doing. It's the one thing he wants to focus on. But if you're being honest, in the music industry, especially rap music, his songs might not compete with the big names like Calligraph, Octopizzo, Cardinali, or even King Kaka. He's not the best rapper or as talented as those rappers, but here's the thing, he has something that those rappers don't have: a sense of humor. He's funny, he's relatable, and he knows how to make people laugh.
Dragon motor testing. Wow. Akili testing. 0.
For a long time, Stevo didn't want to show this side of himself. He saw comedy as a distraction from his true passion, which is music. He didn't want to be seen as just a funny guy. He wanted to be respected as a rapper, something he still hasn't achieved to this day. Back in 2022, Obina tried to persuade Stevo Simpleboy to give comedy a shot, but he wasn't interested.
So comedy, I feel, I stand corrected, I felt like if you were to do comedy, you would make more money quicker. You'll still do comedy and music anyway, but you'll make more money as an MC, as maybe stand-up comedian, as an actor, you know. But we umesema ni rapping too.
Then, in July 2024, 2 years later, Obina tried again telling Stevo to get into comedy, especially content creation.
Bro, you make my days. You are very funny.
Thank you.
And nishakwambia mara kadhaa na nitakwambia tena. Bro, siku utaingia kwa comedy, you'll make so much money, haitakutoshea.
But once again, Stevo seemed reluctant. However, by the end of 2024, Stevo decided to get into comedy, to try content creation.
Na leo naitwa Stevo Simpleboy Wongching.
And why did it take him so long to try it? Because honestly, this is where Stevo Simpleboy truly belongs. Now, first, he began by creating a YouTube channel, but it was on TikTok where his content truly exploded. His growth on TikTok is nothing short of amazing. People love how real Stevo is and how he makes even simple things funny. And almost all his videos have gone viral.
Motor testing. Wow.
What began as a hesitant experiment has turned into a full-blown career. In fact, Stevo Simpleboy is doing better than many content creators in Kenya, though I wouldn't mention names. By the end of last year and into this year, Stevo has completely transformed. He's more confident than ever. His dressing style is better. His hairstyles are different, and his videos are much more exciting to watch. I bet everyone is loving the new Stevo Simpleboy. You probably enjoy his music, but I'm sure you enjoy his content even more. And to prove how good his content is, just look at the number of views, the reactions, and the comments on his TikTok. And imagine this, if Stevo has managed to capture our attention within just a few months, what happens if he fully commits to content creation for a year? They say the possibilities are endless. He could become the biggest content creator in Kenya, maybe even in Africa. Countries like Tanzania already know him, not for his music, but his content. His humor transcends borders. If he focuses less on music and more on his viral comedic content, he could become a huge internet star in a way we haven't seen before. Big brands, of course, will start lining up, more endorsements, more deals, and of course, more money. Look at creators like William Last Kerem from South Africa, or even Kabilame. He went from being laid off at a factory to becoming one of the biggest content creators, not in his village, not in his country, but in the world. Stevo has that same potential. He has the charm, the relatability, and the natural gift to dominate digital entertainment.
Stevo Simpleboy akiamua tu sasa leo anataka kufocus on content. Hao watu wamekuwa kitengeneza content watafunga hizo machannel zao. Because Stevo Simpleboy ukimwangalia tu hivi ni mfani, yani unajua ule mtu tu unamwangalia tu hivi umeanza kucheka. So sijui mbona Stevo Simpleboy bado ana focus na kuimba, because tunajua hiyo muziki yake hakuna pali inampeleka. Last year yote ukiangalia Stevo last year yote amekuwa relevant, amekuwa kitrend, but ukiangalia zile vitu Stevo alikuwa na trend nazo, Stevo alikuwa na trend na content, si muziki.
Content creation isn't just about making people laugh, it's about building an empire. If Stevo plays his cards right, he could transition from just being a struggling musician to a millionaire entertainer. So the question is, will he fully embrace this new path, or will he keep one foot in the music industry? Because if he dives into content creation 100%, you might just be witnessing the birth of Kenya's next internet megastar, or let's say Africa next internet megastar. And let me say this louder. Sometimes the thing you've been avoiding is the key to your success. It's never too late to try something new. It's clear people love what Stevo is doing. It could have started a long time ago, but hey, it's never too late. Maybe 2025 will be Stevo Simple Boy's year.